All right. Welcome to the third part of our lecture, which would be significantly shorter. I didn't realize that it took me so long to talk about the Birkat Hamazon. Well, time flies when you're having fun. We will just begin the discussion of Birchot HaShachar, and we will continue next week. Let me upload our matzeget, our PowerPoint. So, when we speak about Birchot HaShachar, we speak about the earliest or the first section of the morning liturgy. This is the structure of the Shacharit. We will have more time to talk about it, but just to give us a general idea, the picture that I chose on the side is an old picture of the Kotel, and you can see men and women pray together and nobody thinks that the wall is going to fall down. My grandfather used to tell me that he used to go with his mother and grandmother, and everybody prayed together. There was a normal thing back in the day. I just wanted to bring you that picture. Okay, so the first section in the Shacharit is Birchot HaShachar, the morning blessings. The morning blessings is a term that we use as a concise list of a few blessings, but it also a name of a whole rubric that we will have to discuss. We have Psukei de Zimra, the verses of hymn. We have the Shema liturgy, or in Hebrew, we normally call it Kriyat Shema uVirchoteha. We have the Amidah, and we have Tachanun or Hallel, depends. The Tachanun is the penitential daily prayer that is not found in most Reform prayer books. We will have to discuss it. Sometimes it does not appear, for example, on Shabbat or special days, Rosh Chodesh, or if in a house of mourning, or on the other way around, if we're in a house where the Brit or wedding, etc. So depends. It's a very social sensitive rubric, the Tachanun, the penitential prayer. And on special designated day, we have Hallel. So it's either or. Hallel is on festivals. Hallel is recited on Rosh Chodesh. Some recite Hallel on the Israeli Day of Independence, on Yom Yerushalayim. And sometimes you don't have Tachanun or Hallel. We will talk about that too. Then we have Kriyat Torah. You see, I put it also in parentheses because Kriyat Torah traditionally is done only on 3 days in the morning and 1 day in the afternoon. That is to say, Monday, Thursday, and Shabbat. On Monday and Thursday, you have a shorter version of the Torah reading, and Shabbat we read a complete parasha. And then we have concluding prayers, Tfilot Siyum. So this is basically the structure of the Shacharit. And if you look in the Mishnah, in the first chapter of Tractate Brachot, you'll see the questions, Me'matai korin et Shema b'Shacharit? Well, what is the exact time from which we can start reciting the Shema in the morning? And the answer is, Mishiyakir ben tchelet lelavan, when you can really distinguish between the colors. This is why I gave you the blue color as a background here. And Rabbi Eliezer says, ben tchelet lekarti. So he distinguishes the necessity for us to be able to discern into more closer colors. That is to say, you have to start. You can start reciting the Shacharit a little bit later. So according to this text, it seems that the earliest liturgical passage that we have to say when we wake up in the morning is the Shema, right? We don't have any indication that you're supposed to say anything liturgically or otherwise before the Shema liturgy. And here we have the Talmud that give us a special rubric that was meant to be recited in the morning, in the Shacharit, before anything else, before you do anything else. And I just want to mention, and this will be the last thing we'll do today, that this is considered by many liturgy of liminality, of leaving the realm of the night and moving to the realm of the day, leaving the kingdom of sleep and moving to the kingdom of being awake, being active, being functioning human beings. The rabbis were, I would say, I hope it's not insulting to anybody, they were very control freak. The sleep presented them with a challenge, because what happens during our sleep, we have no control over our body and over our souls and over our thoughts. If I have a bad thought during the day, I can move it aside. I can be a very productive human being. But what happens if the inappropriate or bad or scary thought attacks me in the night in the form of a dream? I have no power to fight against it. So sleep was a very challenging time for them. And that's how can I say, well, 1/3 of our day basically is sleep. Back in the day, when the sun set, you would go to sleep. What do you have to do outside? So they said, and this is from Bavli Brachot 57b, sleep is 1/60th of death. שינה היא 1/60 של מיטה. In other words, sleep is not death, but sleep has a quality that resembles to some extent the existence of death, right? Because when you're asleep, you are motionless. You look to people who observe you from outside as if you're dead. You cannot do anything to defend yourself against external dangers, against internal dangers. Now, I think that all of us really look for the moment where we can put our hands on the pillow, but think about little children. Why are they so afraid to go to bed? Yes, they remember something very primal maybe that we may have forgotten, that sleep is very scary. We don't know, we don't have guarantee to wake up in the morning. But the good news is that in the vast majority of the cases we do. And next week we will talk about Birchot HaShachar, which is one of my personal favorite rubrics of prayer. Lehitraot v'chol tov.